viewers, you're watching our live RTD channel. Welcome to this English news edition. Here are the major stories. The President of the Republic received the Egyptian Deputy Prime Minister in Djibouti. The Chief of General Staff at the forefront to support troops. For the international scene, the Humanitarian for the international scene, digital health in Africa. Those were the headlines. Thanks for joining us in our newsroom. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Margili, received the Egyptian Deputy Prime Minister. He received today at the Presidential Palace the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Industrial Development and Transport of Arab Republic of Egypt, Mr. Kamel Abdel Hadi Al-Wazir. Djibouti and Egypt maintain distinguished and deeply rooted relation forged by shared history belonging to the same region and reliance on a common foundation of culture and language. Mr. Kamel Abdel Hadi Al-Wazir's visit to Djibouti comes within the framework of a field mission aimed at directly value to the level of implementation of the agreement concluded between the two countries following the historic visit paid by the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to Djibouti in April 2025. The two countries are currently working to launch new cooperation projects in vital sectors including energy, infrastructure, higher education and scientific resources, as well as the health sector. The widespread condemnation of Israelis' recognition of Somaliland, Arab and international reaction is strongly rejecting the Israeli decision to recognize the Somaliland region have continued with the renewed affirmation of a full support for the independence, sovereignty and territorial integrity of Federal Republic of Somalia. States, organizations and regional, continental and international bodies consider this Israel move an illegitimate step that constitutes a serious violation of Somalia's sovereignty in addition to being a direct threat to peace, security and stability in the region. Among the countries that condemn the decision are the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Arab Republic of Egypt, the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, the Republic of Yemen, the State of Kuwait, the Kingdom of Morocco, the State of Qatar, the Syrian Arab Republic and the Republic of Turkey. The recognition of Somaliland by Israel was also condemned by the League of Arab States, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, the Gulf of Cooperation Council, the African Union and Intergovernmental Authorities on Development known as IGAD. It is worth noting that 21 Arab countries, African and Islamic countries, including the Republic of Djibouti, announced in a joint statement their rejection of Israelis' recognition of Somaliland. The East African community has declared its unequivocal recognition of the Federal Republic of Somalia as a sovereign, unity and indivisible state in accordance with the borders it inherits at the time of its independence. This position is consistent with the charters of the African Union and resolution relating to the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Somalia. The President of Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, the President of Somalia, affirmed in a speech in front of the parliament Somalia's firm commitment to defend its sovereignty and territorial unity. Let's follow.
The Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud strongly reaffirmed Somalia's unwavering commitment to defending its sovereignty and territorial integrity during a speech delivered to Parliament. For the authorities, national security remains an absolute priority and an essential condition for peace and stability in the country. He sent a warning message to the Israeli Prime Minister, urging him not to extend the Middle East conflict to the territories of the Federal Republic of Somalia. In a regional context marked by persistent security challenges, Mogadishu is focusing on strengthening cooperation with neighboring countries in order to effectively combat terrorism, piracy, and cross-border threats. Regional stability is viewed as a shared responsibility, requiring a collective and coordinated response. On the international front, the head of state called for deeper diplomatic relations with increased engagement with partners in international organizations. The objective is to mobilize the political, technical, and financial support necessary to strengthen national defense capacities and advance state reconstruction. In the face of external threats, the government affirmed that it is adopting a proactive posture, enhanced intelligence capabilities, international cooperation in counter-terrorism, as well as training and equipping of the Somali armed forces are central to this strategy. Furthermore, the authorities emphasize the lasting security also depends on socio-economic development. Investments in infrastructure, education, and the economy are presented as key drivers for consolidating stability and building long-term national resilience. Finally, the president called for stronger civic mobilization, civic participation, public awareness, and the promotion of national unity are encouraged so that every citizen becomes an active contributor to the country's defense and cohesion. A clear message for Somalia: security, development, and national unity are inseparable.
The Chief of General Staff of the Army Forces inspect advanced military site as part of the ongoing monitoring the security situation along national borders and continued attention to the condition of deployed troops. The Chief of General Staff of the Army Forces, Lieutenant General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, carried out an inspection visit this morning to the military site located in the Tedo. The Chief of General Staff arrived at the Tedo site at 6:30 a.m., accompanied by an important military delegation. He was received in accordance with the established military protocols by the commander of the infantry battalion in Tajura, Colonel Ali Shahim Daoud, along with an honor guide organized for the occasion. During the visit, the Chief of General Staff inspected personnel and equipment at the forward position and reviewed firsthand the condition under which mission are carried out, troops' morale, and the overall security system in place along the border stripe. It should be noted and recall that the advanced detail post administrative located within the Obor region falls under the military responsibility of the mixed infantry regiment in Tijura. In the context of the visit of the Chief of Staff of the Army Forces, preside over a rank promotion ceremony for the 33 military personnel on the occasion of their advancement. These servicemen and women distinguish themselves through the high professionalism, a strong sense of duty, and exemplary commitment to border protection in addition to their continuous support for local population, contributing to enhance security, stability, and trust between the Army and citizens. This gesture reflects the determination of General Staff of the Army Forces to recognize merit, courage, and the spirit of sacrifice among women and men serving the nation under difficult conditions, particularly in the remote areas of the country.
kodiyo colbaanahay caddin laga baqaanahay seef laba aflaanahay geesi aaminaanahay indhihii dalkaanahay kodiyo colbaanahay adin laga baqaanahay seef laba aflaanahay geesi aaminaanahay indhihii dalkaanahay abur iyo masbaano eedadku ima karo abur iyo masbaano.
The Chief of Staff of the Army Forces delivered a guidance address to the personnel at the site, focusing on strategy, importance of border security, discipline. Detail in this report.
I would like to take this opportunity during my presence among you today to address all military personnel, wherever they may be, on duty, on leave, or on mission. We must demonstrate bravery and honor in order to be worthy of the esteem of our comrades, our families, our nation, and our faith. Only by doing so can we deserve honor in this life and, by the grace of God, reward in the hereafter. Wearing the uniform distinguishes us from others from head to toe. It imposes upon us the sacred duty to protect our homeland, our dignity, our honor, and our nation, and to be ready, if necessary, to give our lives for this noble cause. We serve under a flag that guarantees our fundamental rights, medical care, pensions, and other social benefits. Our families also enjoy these rights, even after our passing. This is a blessing granted by God for which we must be grateful. At a time when some countries present themselves as global powers, we too are a power. Moreover, we have faith, Islam, which guides our action and strengthens our commitment. We are required to act with honor at all levels, exemplified by the unit that steadfastly and courageously defended this forward post. My visit also aims to express my gratitude on behalf of the Ministry of Defense in particular and the government of the Republic of Djibouti more generally for your efforts and sacrifices. As for the terrorists who roam dishonoring their country, living in fear and indignity, and abandoning their families and citizens to worry, my message to them is clear. If they are Djiboutian, they should return home. They will be presented to these competent government authorities, and I will personally vouch for them. Finally, to the military personnel based in the Datu, I reiterate my thanks for your professionalism and composure, and I wish peace, security, and prosperity to you and your families.
Indeed, the second promotion ceremony was held in Djibouti City. Upon his arrival to Djibouti City, the Chief of General Staff of the Army Forces presided over a second promotion ceremony for 5 military personnel who were unable to attend the morning ceremony at the site due to injuries sustained while carrying out site protection duties and daily operational activities. The ceremony was held in the presence of the Minister of Defense, who personally honored these servicemen, reflecting the high authorities' appreciation for their commitment and a strong sense of duty. Through this initiative, the Djiboutian Army Forces reaffirm their full commitment to border security, population protection, and recognition of the effort of servicemen and women who worked daily with courage and loyalty in the service of the nation.
abaabulihi guushi ambaqaadki noloshiyo ebadii dagaalkiyo indhihiina tagay ma og tahay askariyo
A workshop on a base program on budgeting was held this morning. The Ministry of Budget organized today, Sunday, at the Campeski Hotel, a workshop dedicated to presenting the results of a pilot phase of program-based budgeting alongside the presentation of the roadmap for reaffirming this system by 2026. This high-level workshop was chaired by the Minister of Budget with the participation of the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training and the Minister of Health, as well as experts and senior public administration officials. The initiative falls within the government's broader effort to modernize the state and reform public financial management. The discussion were focused on the innovation introduced by the new organic law on finance law, the outcomes of the pilot phase carried out in the education and health sector, and the condition for generalizing the program-based budgeting approach. The roadmap present outlined clear milestones for a gradual and well-controlled implementation of the reform, underscoring the government's determination to establish results and performance based on public management. In his address, the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, said that it is an honor for me to take part in this important workshop, which forms part of the deep reform of the public finance system as an essential pillar for developing public policies, particularly in the sector of national education and vocational training. We firmly believe that the generalization of program-based budgeting will help establish a culture of evolution and accountability and achieve greater efficiency in the use of public resources in a way that benefits learners and strengthens confidence in public school. I reaffirm the commitment of the education sector to continue its active engagement in this reform and to work in close coordination with the Ministry of Budget and other relevant sectors to ensure the success of this strategic system. In his remarks, the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdillah, stated that at the outset, I would like to commend this important initiative, which lies at the heart of public management, reaffirm and this reform in which the health sector is an central component. The adoption of the program-based budgeting during the pilot phase allows us to rethink the way health resources are programmed and to link them more clearly to the sector's strategy objective, particularly improving access to health service, the quality of patient care, and governance within health institutions. The health sector reaffirmed its full commitment to supporting this reform and contributing to the successful rollout of program-based budgeting, given its essential role in building a more effective, equitable, and sustainable health system. For his part, the Minister of Budget, Mr. Osman Ibrahim Roble, emphasized that program-based budgeting reform is a key lever for improving the efficiency of public action, enhancing transparency, and ensuring that all mobilized resources translate into tangible benefits for citizens. I am pleased to share this workshop, which represents a major milestone in the public finance reform process, through the presentation of the results of pilot phase of program-based budgeting and the roadmap aimed at generalizing this system by 2026. The program-based budgeting reform is a central driver for improving public sector efficiency, strengthening transparency, and ensuring that the public resources are transformed into concrete results and positive impact felt by citizens in their daily lives. A signing of an agreement to establish a regional maritime academy in Djibouti today marked the signing of an agreement to establish a future regional maritime academy in Djibouti between Djibouti Port and Prisons authorities and the Arab Academy for Science, Technology and Maritime Transport following unanimous approval by the member state. The future academy to be established in Djibouti aimed to strengthen and qualify specialized technical personnel in the maritime and port sectors serving countries across the region. Designed as a regional center of excellence, the institution aimed to strengthen competencies in maritime profession, support applied scientific researches, and contribute to the modernization of port operation in the Horn of Africa. The signing ceremony was attended by several officials and representatives of relevant institutions who emphasized that the project embodies a shared vision for an Africa capable of training its own experts and controlling its logistic flow.
I am very honored, very pleased to be here in my home country in Djibouti. I feel home. I'm very delighted, very honored to be next sitting to you and His Excellency Ambassador, and with us, our, graduates of the Arab Academy, the future talent, the future human capital for this very important industry, not only for Djibouti, for the whole world. For Djibouti, you have a very prime location for this industry. We have a very prime location. And the vision of His Excellency that he should trying his best to put Djibouti, at the position that it does deserve, So be proud of yourself, be proud of your, leadership. And actually, His Excellency did all support to all of you. And you remember when you have been studying, His Excellency, the Ambassador, used to come to the Academy without letting me know to be sure that everything is going on the right track. And, he came to you to make sure that everything is in the right place for you.
In his remarks, the President of Port and Prisons authorities, Bakr Umar Hadi, said that this decision comes within Djibouti's national strategy aimed at strengthening its position as a maritime hub linking Africa with the Arab world and Asia.
For the human capital building in Djibouti, and the maritime sector, and the last bunch of students was all female. 4 engineers and 19 deck officers. Yes, we are very proud of them. Many nations bigger than Djibouti have not invested so much on human capital. And some shipping lines already are requesting to deploy our officers, engineers on board their ships. Because also we had the problem, the 6 months sea service. No company can accept us. I think Captain Fatuma, yes, you did Australia. Yes, so for your 2 ships, we can send our ladies, our men to make the sea service. So it's a very interesting, I want to thank Arab Academy. We are going to open in Djibouti next September. Not only for Djiboutians, but also for all East Africa. Thank you very much.
And now we have a report on a White Gulf of Lagasal assault in Djibouti. While the world talks about black gold, the country is bidding on another kind of wealth with white gold in the heart of Lagasal. Africa's salty resources has become a true industrial driver, creating jobs and growth. Detail in these reports.
Djibouti, a strategic country at the crossroad of global shipping route, is now banking on its own treasures, the white gold of La Casale. At a time when the world is chasing after oil, the country is developing a resource of exceptional purity, which in just a few years has become one of the driving forces of national industry. Here, in the heart of almost lunar landscapes, one of the territory's most ambitious projects is unfolding. It all began on December 10, 2017, under the sun of La Casale. The President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, laid the foundation stone for two factories intended to process the riches of Africa's saltiest lake. This marked the beginning of a new era. Artisanal mining gave way to a genuine industrial strategy. 2 years in December 2019, the vision became a reality. The head of state inaugurated the country's first sodium bromide plant, a unique facility in East Africa. On the shores of the lake, brine is now transformed into high-valued added products used in industry, medicines, and technology. From 2023 onwards, the momentum accelerated modernization, expansion, diversification. Calcium bromide, first solid, then liquid, entered production. To date, more than 264,000 tons of product have already been exported to Asia, the Middle East, and several other markets.
Ces projets industriels viennent solidifier notre croissance et notre développement durable, conformément bien sûr à la vision 2035.
These exports have generated over 2 billion Djiboutian francs for the public treasury. La Casale is establishing itself as a strategic industrial hub, and above all, jobs are being created, services are developing, and the entire area is experiencing a new economic impetus benefiting local population. The CEO of the salt investment said in 2015, China Communication Construction Company took over the development of the industrial salt mines, which had been initially abandoned by an American company. After acquiring a stake, it is both an honor and a responsibility for us. Let us fully leverage our respective strengths and resources to work together for the development of Djibouti's salt industry. Let us jointly promote the industry so that it occupies a prominent position in the global market, strengthen its brand, and consolidate its international reach. We hope that our efforts, in line with the Djiboutian government's commitment to transforming its natural resources into an engine of development, will improve the living conditions of the population and promote economic growth through international cooperation. New factories will be built with a gradual ramp-up of 500,000 tons, then 1 million, then 2 million tons per year. $38 million investment will make La Casale one of the major salt product hubs in the regions. This plan will boost employment, stimulate local small-medium entrepreneurs, and transform the area into the true economic center. The Minister of Energy said in 2025, a tripartite agreement signed in China opens a new chapter. The Ministry of Energy and Natural Resources, Salt Investment, and Beijing China Mining Jinfa Technology launch a comprehensive programs to develop industrial and food-grade salt. The CEO of the China Mining Jinfa Technology said, as a CEO of Beijing China Mining Jinfa Technology Co. Ltd, I am deeply honored to come to Djibouti and collaborate with the government of Djibouti and Salt Investment on the development of the country's valuable resources. Beijing China Mining Jinfa Technology Co. Ltd has been engaged in the research and development of mining equipment for 30 years. With our experience and our ability to integrate resources within the sector, we hope to contribute to the development of these precious resources.
The technical workshop on human resources in the health sector, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Health, Mohammed Ali Mohammed, sure an important technical workshop held yesterday, December 25, analyzing the status of human resources in the health sector. Organized by the Ministry of Health with technical support from the World Health Organization, the initiative aimed to improve the structuring of medical and paramedical labor market in in the country. The main objective of the workshop was to conduct an in-depth analysis of health workforces need across all sectors of the health system. The discussion will focus on an aligning initial training with the labor market realities to ensure effective health coverage nationwide. In addition, a wide range of public and private sector stakeholders participating, including the Minister of Health official, Human Resources Director, and hospital manager from the University Hospital Center and Health Service of the National Social Security Fund, the Djiboutian Army Forces, and the Republican Guard, and the National Police also attend in this workshop. In his address, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Health emphasized that the quality of the healthcare system primarily depends on the competence and availability of human resources. He expressed that the workshop is not merely a technical analysis, but a strategy step to align real-world need with the training program with the aim of ensuring that every citizen, so wherever they may be, has access to adequate care for a sufficient number of qualified health professionals. Witness an enthusiastic atmosphere and a large popular gathering in support of the President of the Republic and head of the government, Ismail Mergeli, and candidate of Union for the Presidential Majority Party in the upcoming presidential election. The Solidarity Initiative was organized by civil society in Hayu neighborhood, where member cultural an artistic evening was held at the Community Development Center Square. A large crowd of women, men, youth, and children, along with community leaders, civil society representatives, and decentralized service gathered in great number, clearly expressing a strong popular support for the President of the Republic, his policies, and future vision. The evening opened with the verses of the Holy Quran received by Abu Sheikh the judge, and followed by national anthem. On the artistic front, the event was organized and emphasized by the renewed national artistic Amanda and veteran artist Hussein Al-Haile. They also call on the residents of Hayu in the region to a larger scale to prepare well for the upcoming electoral milestone scheduled for April 2026.
أمتي تني تني بقرني بارسا يحبني وقريا أمتي تني تني بقرني تكو حرمعي تني قرني قول اللي حبل بارتيا تكو حرمعي تني قرني قول اللي
Digital health in Africa in a context of
In a global context marked by unprecedented technology.
Global technical and technological acceleration in Africa is experiencing a growing digital transformation in the healthcare sector. Detail in this report.
In a global context marked by unprecedented technological advances, Africa is experiencing a growth digital transformation in the healthcare sector. Largely driven by women leaders, the African Women in Digital Health Initiative has announced the selection of 6 winners of its prestigious mentorship program. highlighting the central role of women in health innovation across the continent. These winners were chosen from 337 candidates across 33 African countries, following a rigorous selection process aimed at identifying profiles with high potential impact. The selected projects stand out for the ability to leverage digital technologies to address some of Africa's most complex health challenges, including access to care, quality of medical services, and resilience of health systems. This mentorship program aims to strengthen participants' technical and strategic skills while fostering the creation of strong professional networks across the continent.
And to finish this edition, heavy rains worsened the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Detail in this report.
Torrential rains are pounding the Gaza Strip, worsening the suffering of the Palestinian population already facing a dire humanitarian situation. Persistent rainfall, accompanied by strong winds and a marked drop in temperatures, is making living conditions particularly difficult, especially for displaced families living in makeshift tents. According to local sources, thousands of people are facing freezing cold without adequate heating, while temporary shelters are struggling to withstand a harsh. 3 babies died in Gaza from hypothermia caused by heavy rainfall and usually low temperatures. Several weekend buildings have also collapsed, causing additional material damage. This new wave of bad weather comes as the Gaza Strip suffers from a severe shortage of housing, infrastructure, and essential resources, turning every extreme weather event into a direct threat to the survival of thousands of civilians.
This is it for this edition. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful evening.